Being a Broadway performer is pretty cool. And a lot of hard work, but getting there is even harder. I'm gonna tell you all about it. I'm Adrienne Walker. Welcome to 32 Bar Cut.
Hey everybody, it's Austin Cook here with Broadway Banter. Today I'm going solo. Adrienne is out working, doing her thing, and I'm here alone taping today's episode, and I want to give you the skinny on how to make a 32 bar cut. Okay, the name of the company is 32 Bar Cut. I want to do a good video about what is a 32 bar cut, how to make a good one, what do you need to do, where to start, all of the stuff from a music director and accompanist perspective, okay? We want to get your 32 bar cut looking good, sounding good, so that you can rock the audition. All right, before I get into it, have you subscribed to 32 Bar Cut? I don't know what you're waiting for. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and turn the little notification bell on. That way you can stay up to date on our videos and see everything we are talking about. All things Broadway, pretty much. Okay, friends, let's dive in. So first thing, with a 32 bar cut, you have an audition coming up for whatever, it doesn't matter. You have to get a side or a 32 bar cut for your book. Where do you start? Okay, so let's start from the very beginning. The first thing you need to ask yourself is, what is the purpose of this cut? Okay, that may seem broad, but that really is the most important question. What is the purpose of this cut? Is the purpose to showcase my voice? To show that I can belt a C sharp for like 8 seconds? Maybe you're going in for Elsa in Frozen. You know that at the end of Let It Go, she has to just scream a D, a D, a D, a D, a D. And then guess what? Unlike the movie for Broadway, they changed it so that in the ending of Let It Go opts up to a D. You just hold a D. You know, the whole thing. Okay. All right. You got to do that whole thing forever. So that's what your song, if you're auditioning for that, your song, your cut of whatever has to showcase that. Otherwise, what is the point of doing the 32 bar cut? Unless if you want that role, you want the role of Elsa, the side you're doing better showcase the D. It better showcase it for a long time, and you better nail it. That's the purpose. Don't just go in there willy-nilly with like, oh, I sing this song good. It kind of like, you know, it's fun. That's not a reason to do an audition side. When you are preparing, I'll say this more than once today. When you're preparing a song for your audition book, you need to remember that every song in the audition book needs to kick some serious butt. When you're going in and performing a song from your book, it's your showcase. I like to treat it as if I had an opportunity for a one-night show on Broadway, a solo show. I'm going up there. It's sold out. All of the press is there. All of the Broadway favorites are there, and they're watching me. How have I prepared? Am I just going to willy-nilly throw something together last minute and then perform? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to perform for weeks. I'm going to rehearse for weeks. I'm going to practice. I'm going to sculpt the sides so my voice sounds great. I'm going to have all the beats in my acting figured out. I'm going to know what works. I'm going to know where the laugh is, if it's funny. I'm going to know where the drama is. I'm going to know everything about that side so that when I perform on Broadway for my big one-night show, that I'm going to kick some serious butt, okay? I'm going to change lives. The next day, the internet's going to be This was the most amazing performance I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen anything like it. This was incredible. That is how every single side in your audition book needs to be. I'm not joking, my friends. It needs to be that good. Booking a show on Broadway, off-Broadway, off-Broadway, regional theater is hard enough. Okay? There's not a lot in your control. Nothing's in your control, really. There's like 1%, and that's the 1% I'm talking about. But you have to be the right look, you have to be the right height, you have to have the right amount of dance, you have to go, know the right amount of this, blah, 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 blah. There's so many things that are out of your control in an audition. When you have something in your control, which is the quality of your book, the quality of your performance, what you're going to perform, make it 150%, my friends. Put in the work. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So maybe some more examples. So maybe you want to showcase more acting. Say you're going in for the Connor's dad in Dear Evan Hansen, okay? Sure, he sings. Doesn't have a lot of solos. There's like 8 bars. You know, it's not really a heavy singing role. It's not Mana La Mancha, okay? It's not Don Quixote in Mana La Mancha. All right, it's just a couple of singing things. You got to be able to sing a little bit, be able to have some harmonies, but mostly it's the acting. I mean, Dear Evan Hansen is some serious acting. It's some heavy material. You're going through the gamut of human emotion. You need to have a side then that really is putting the casting team and the director, they're seeing that. They're seeing the acting side. They're seeing the depth of emotional draw that you have. The 32-bar cut that you prepare in that instance should be that. Okay, maybe like one more example. Maybe maybe for Hamilton. All right, that's my go-to. I love Hamilton. You need to showcase rap. Are you going to go into the audition and sing a musical theater song for Hamilton? Not unless you're playing King George. Okay. If you're going to be rapping, if you're going to be doing one of the roles of the Sons of Liberty, okay, you need to bring in a rap. Bring in some legit rap. Okay, I played auditions where legit rappers came in and actually we did some rap, all right? So make sure you're preparing your cut. You're asking the question, what is the purpose of this cut? And then beginning the rest of this process that we're going to talk about. If the answer to that is just, I like the song, or it kind of sounds good in my voice, that's not a reason, okay? Have a legitimate reason on the purpose, what you're trying to accomplish with that cut, what role you're getting, how does this cut put you in that role, okay? All right, so I think we got it. What's the purpose of the cut? The next thing is we need to choose a song that closely resembles the style of the show and the character that is in that show, okay? We've already given some examples. Let's go with something like Sondheim, okay? I want to be Bobby. Bobby, baby, Bobby, Bobby, Bob. Okay, I want to be Bobby and company, all right? So what am I going to go into my audition with? Well, it's obvious. The composer is Sondheim. I'm going to come in with some Sondheim material, all right? I'm not going to go in with something else. I'm going to go in with Sondheim. Now, don't sing from the show, okay? I'm not going to sing Being Alive from Company. All right, they don't want to hear that. They're about to do the show. Other people have done it. Like everybody's done Being Alive. Don't do that. But maybe what I'll do is I'll say, maybe I'll do The Road Not Taken, right? I'll do another ballad in the style, something from Follies, something from Into the Woods. Into the Woods, everybody does it. But something from another show, another Sondheim show, like Frogs or something, for example, or Forum. I'm going to sing a ballad from one of those shows so that I understand so that I showcase that I understand the Sondheim material, okay? But it's also close enough to that ballad, close enough to the world where they can see me in that role. That's important, okay? If you're going in for a pop musical, Mean Girls, bring in something pop, okay? Bring in Katy Perry if you're auditioning for one of the Mean Girls leads, okay? Bring in Katy Perry, that's in the world of the show, and kill it. Okay, so we understand. I'm trying to think of another example. For instance, if you're doing Stephen Schwartz, like a musical theater. So you're doing musical theater, Stephen Schwartz, he's got a bunch of musicals, Pippin, Godspell, Hunchback. You've got a bunch of material to choose from, okay? Choose another Schwartz and do that for your 32-bar cut. Okay, next, we know our purpose. We know what song we're going to do. We've chosen our song. Now we need to find the sheet music. When you're looking for sheet music, really in my world, you should do this in a certain order. Okay, number one, the best choice of sheet music is going to be that piano vocal, that PV, as we call it. The piano vocal that was officially produced for the show. All right, you'll find piano vocals out. You'll find some that are like done by like Hal Leonard that are quite kind of dumbed down. You don't want those versions. You want like the real piano vocal selection book that has the real accompaniments that are in the original keys. Start there because that's going to be what is probably best suited or best cleanly written. Okay, if you can't find that, maybe you can find the conductor score. Now, if you're bringing in a conductor score, make sure that it's the condensed piano version of a conductor score and not a full conductor score with all of the instruments and all of that stuff. That's too much for an accompanist to read. Okay, it's too much. Also, when doing a conductor score, make sure that it's not in conductor scores like the Music Man that's like handwritten out. You can't really see it. You don't know what's going on. It's just kind of loosely sketched. That's a nightmare for accompanists to read. All right, if you can't find that, then you're going to want to go to, let me see, like music notes, Sheet Music Plus. See how that's way down the list? Don't go there first, my friends. If I had to get on my soapbox, I would tell you that playing off of music notes and Sheet Music Plus and all of that stuff it's soul sucking. It's not great, because good accompanists know that what's on there is just not right. The chords are oftentimes wrong. The way it's written is very like amateur. It's not going to make you sound the best in the audition. What's going to make you sound the best is these piano vocals, the official ones, the ones that are written correctly, that are voiced correctly. Music notes, those are done by people who are just looking to make money. They post them up. They're not done by the official people who wrote the show. So a lot of times there's a lot of mistakes. So don't go there unless you absolutely have to, please. Okay, last is bootlegs. Okay, bootlegs are just like, you know, you found like a lead sheet, you found something, blah, 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 blah. Don't bring that stuff in. It's a mess. Don't do it. All right. If you have to, hire somebody to transcribe it for you for like $100. If it's a song you really want to do, you want to have in your book, just reach out to someone who does this for a living, send them the $100 and let them custom craft your sides for you and make it clear and make it good for an accompanist to read. Okay. Lastly, well, I guess not lastly, but the next point I will make is printing the sides, right? So when you print them, make sure you print 3 copies, right? You're going to want 1 copy to be your 16 bar cut, which we'll talk about. 1 copy is the 32 bar cut version, okay, which we're going to talk about. You're going to sculpt these, but you're going to have 3 copies of the full music, start to finish, the entire song. You're going to print it out 3 times. 1 of them you're going to mark up to be a 16 bar cut. 1 you're going to mark up to be a 32 bar cut. And the last one you're going to use to have the whole thing in case they ask for the whole thing. Why do I do it this way? I do it this way for ease of use. I've seen it where people have the entire song and then you go to the 32 bar cut and then maybe the 32 bar cut overlapped with the 16 bar cut. So these different color highlighters, these different marks, cut here to go to here. It's confusing, my friends. Remember, you only have 1 shot with the accompanist, 1 shot to make yourself get hired, to look good. If you have all of these different cuts and different things, and if it's this version do here and this sort, that's hard for an accompanist to read. Make it easy. Have 3 different versions in your book. The way I have my book organized is 16 bar cuts, all in one section, big section. The next section is all 32 bar cuts. And the last section is entire songs, okay? They're all in the same exact order, but I just know if they want the full song, you just go to full song, bang, there it is. It's already there, and it's already written out. It doesn't have all the 32 bar cut slashes and all that weird stuff in it. Make it easy, my friends. That's your job. Make it easy for the accompanist. Make the accompanist successful. That's what we want, all right? We want you to succeed. You should want us to succeed. We're going to have a great audition that way, right? When you print it out, please do not print it out on a inkjet terrible printer that the ink is kind of green and stuff. Get it printed properly. Print it on a laser jet. Print it on something that prints it properly, not like weird resolution and a bad scan and all that. Again, you want the accompanist to succeed. Okay, next, what do we need to do to make the actual cut successful? Let's talk about it. So now we need to look for an arc. Okay, how do I make a 32 bar cut from an entire song? What am I looking for? What are the qualities that I want? What you want is to create an arc of some sort, right? Normally, you want to start small and then finish big. A little bit of story, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, da-dee-da-dee-da-doo. Then a little bigger in the next, da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da-da-da-da-da. This is in every song. And then you're going to end with ba-ba-da-da-da. boom, right? And you have a big finish. You're looking for either maybe it's the end of the first chorus that does that, has a nice, story to end. And a lot of times it's just kind of the end of the song, working backwards, right? The last notes of the song. Blah, 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 blah. Then the thing to remember, though, is that instead of just going from the end of the song and backing up your 32 bars, a lot of times it's kind of repetitive in the storytelling. It's not really, you don't really have a journey. A lot of times, in order to tell the story properly, you might want to use the first verse or half of the first verse that's setting up the I want. I wish that this were the case. Normally it's saying, I wish I had this and I wish I had this. Then maybe you cut to the bridge, where the bridge is like, this happened to me and this happened to me and now I'm about to do this. And wait, this just happened, so maybe I could do this. That's in the bridge. And then we get to the last chorus, the final chorus, maybe there's a direct modulation up a half step, and that's where it's like, I have this, I can do it, la la, boom. Now, that's a much better cut for an audition than just doing the end. The end, you didn't tell me much story, you didn't give me much setup, you didn't take me on any journey. Rather, don't be afraid to cut it up. 8 bars here, to the bridge, 8 bars there, and the last 16 bars of the song. Now all of a sudden we have a nice dynamic range for the music director. We also are giving the director some storytelling. Really take us on that journey. And the benefit of doing that, and the benefit of having different versions printed out, is that you can cut, snip, piece together those parts and make a nice, clean, don't ask the accompanist to flip pages 100 times to get to these cuts. Just cut it out for them. Take white out, cut out a piece of paper, copy it, and only put the bars that they're playing. Make it seamless for them. Very easy. If you have finale, or if you have a friend who knows finale or Sibelius, they can make it custom for you. Again, you want the accompanist to succeed. So really craft that audition, right? Make sure it tells a really good story. Okay, another key point to think about is the number of bars, right? So it's called a 32 bar cut, which means you want 32 bars of music or measures of music. The problem with that generic description or qualification is that it's not time-based. So say you're in a really slow 4, 2, 3, 4, right? And you do 32 bars of that, you're there for 2.5 minutes. Okay, we ain't got time for that. All right. So, and also, if on the flip side, if you're in cut time and you're in 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I mean, all of a sudden 32 bar goes by in a flash, right? So the 32 bar cut rule is not a hard rule. If you have 36 bars, you have 28 bars, that doesn't matter as much as the amount of time. If you're given a 32 bar cut, it needs to be under a minute. Don't have, again, a really slow 4 and really milk it and all that. Don't waste time, okay? It needs to be under a minute. 2 seconds a bar. Think of it like that. Around 2 seconds a bar, okay? And vice versa. If you can have 45 bars of a cut time piece that flies, and that's fine because you're under that minute mark, okay? And it's similar for a 16 bar cut. 16 bar cut is half of that. So 30 seconds for a 16 bar cut. Yeah, keep it under 30. Next, we need to craft the cut. Like, how do we actually craft this piece of this 32 bar cut? You need to think about key. What key am I going to do the song in that best showcases my voice? The piano vocal is going to be in the key of the show or whatever they did it in the show, most likely. So a lot of times people would just do it in that show. Well, if, say you're a woman and you have to mix the last note, right? Say you're going to mix a D sharp. Well, say that right where that sits in your break, it's not your money note. If it was a D, you'd be able to really, maybe belt that or power mix that, right? It's not in that weird space. So if I were to drop it a half step, all of a sudden my audition would be 100 times better. Why not do that? What's stopping you from fixing those things in your book? Change the key, my friends. Don't leave it in a key that's just okay for your voice. Put it in the key that is perfect for your voice. It may mean that you have to reach out to, so again, someone, a music director friend, someone who can put it in finale, someone who can do the work for you, pay the $100, whatever it is. It's worth it. Okay, I know on Music Notes, on Sheet Music Plus, you can change the key. You can do that. Just make sure, again, that it's doing it in a way that's musical, that's correct, because a lot of times when you do that in Music Notes, it'll put it in some weird, double sharp thing that just nobody would organically write, and that becomes a problem. So again, make sure you're reaching out to somebody that knows piano, that's a music director, that can look at it and be like, that's good or not so good. Cool. Now, when we think about you've already kind of crafted and arced the piece. We now have got the key, the successful key for your voice in the song. We now need to work on the intro. How are we going to start the song? When thinking about intros, a lot of people would just do a bell tone. So they'll write in bell tone G, smiley face, or whatever it is. That's a good way to do it for auditions, and you just start right with the accompanist. Also, maybe the way the music's written, maybe there's a vamp already kind of inherently in the music, and just say, hey, play these two, put where you're going to tell the accompanist to start, just say start here, and then you'll sing here. That's a good way to do it. Sometimes they'll just have the intro at the beginning. They'll just say, can you vamp the intro at the beginning, and then I'll come in with the vocals. That's a good way to do it. There are many ways to skin a cat, as they say. So just make sure it's clearly marked in the music. A bell tone is great. Just make sure that the bell tone is, again, your pitch or however you want to do it, and not the key of the song or whatever is going to throw you off. Sometimes, in like Sondheim, the first pitch may be like the 7th of the chord, and then I'll start in the key, and that'll throw people off. So just make sure you're really confident on what you're telling the accompanist to give. So that's the intro. Next would be the ending. How do we mark the ending? Most of the time, you're going to use, the end of the song or something that has an ending. But say you wanted to stop in the middle of a phrase for whatever reason, or that's the middle of a song at the end of a bridge or whatever. Just make sure you mark end on a C chord, please, smiley face, or end here. Just clearly mark that. It's okay if there's not an ending written for you to write something, to write D major chord or whatever it is. Just write that in. And good accompanists will have no problem with that. Next, you want to make notes in the score. You want to make the notes of anything that the accompanist needs to be aware of. Are there some weird dynamic things going on that he needs to know? He needs to play really quietly, maybe highlight that mezzo piano or highlight that pianissimo, more likely. Are there caesuras? Are there fermatas in the score? Mark those really big. 2 big slashes, highlighted. Fermata, really big, highlighted. That way, they don't blow through those things that are important to you. Same with retards, rallentandos, okay? When you're slowing down, a tempos. Mark those things clearly in the music so that the accompanist, again, on their first try, can nail those with you. And I guess lastly, any style changes that might be different. Say that normally the song is done this way, right? On the cast album, it was done like this. Everybody does it like this, and you're going to do some jazzy, slow version. You might mark that in the music just so they can key in on the idea, oh, this is different than I normally play it. That can be really helpful. Okay, so now that you've marked up the music, you've got everything in there. Is that it? Are you done? No, you're not done. Before I continue, have you liked the video? Have you subscribed? That really helps us out a lot with YouTube, and we really love making these videos for you. And also let us know in the comments if there's a particular video or a topic that you would like us to talk about. Adrienne and I really want you to succeed in your auditions. Again, I play hundreds and hundreds of auditions, and it makes me sad when that there's things I know that they don't know, the actors don't know. And I want them to know, oh, if you only had done this, we would have done so much better. But I don't get that opportunity to talk to people, so this is one of those chances where I can help talk to you directly and give you my feedback and things that I see a lot in the audition room. Okay, our next task is to clean up the score. This is important, my friends. So we've made notes, we've got all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. What do we do now? We got to clean it up. It needs to be pretty. Okay, are there extra marks in there that we can get the white out and white out? White out all the words that don't do anything. And when I say words, I mean like maybe there's all these conductor notes that say on the 5th of blah, 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 already in the score. We don't need that for the audition. Get rid of it. Are there all these extra things happening in music? Maybe it was poorly scanned and there's these extra bars. Get that, white it out, make it clean. Make it so when the accompanist is looking at it, only the things on the page are the things relevant to them. I hope this makes sense what I'm saying. Don't white out chords and stuff. I'm just saying get rid of all the extra stuff that was on the page, maybe mistakes that were there from the past. Get rid of that stuff and make it clean, all right? Make it like it could hang in a museum, this piece of music. Spend that much time on it, make it look good for your 16-bar cut, for your 32-bar cut, and for the entire, the full score version of what you're doing. Make all of them that clean. Should you use protective sleeves or not? This is a hot button topic. Some accompanists love the protective sleeves. Some say don't ever do it. My opinion is, I always try to be like the not selfish version. Like it's not about me, it's about you being a success. In some audition rooms, there's a weird light or it's really bright outside, and the way the piano's positioned, that it reflects off of those protectors, and then I can't see the music. So I say don't mess with it. Like just give us the paper that doesn't reflect, the normal paper. Make sure it's not falling out of the book. Make sure it's newly printed or whatever it has to be, and just give us that. Don't mess with the protective shields and all that, sleeves. Don't mess with that. Just give us normal paper. That's what we're used to. Make it clean. Make sure it's not falling out of the book. Last, and this is the most important thing about these 32-bar cuts, and I cannot say it with enough strength. Rehearse, rehearse, rehearse. I know what you all do. I know you throw these auditions together last minute. You're like, oh, I could learn this song. Oh, I really want to sing this song. I think it sounds good in my voice. Let me just sing this. Let me learn it for the... My friends, again, using my analogy, this is your chance. You have their captivated attention for 1 minute. You've got to rock it. It's got to be flawless. It's got to be great. You have to rehearse. Put in the time. Don't wing it. Know exactly what your voice is going to do that day. Empower yourselves, my friends. Empower yourself. Rock these auditions. Rehearse. Get with an accompanist. Practice it. Get them to critique what your book looks like. Okay. Record yourself. Video yourself. I know it's painful, but video yourself. Watch it back. And that way you can be like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, or ooh, I should do that, or I should do that. Send it to a friend of yours, have them critique you. I know it's painful. That's why nobody does it. Nobody puts in, well, I shouldn't say nobody. Some of you do. But not enough of us put in the hard work because it's not fun to put in all that work. But if we only would, we could empower ourselves and have better auditions and be booking those jobs, okay? So let's do it. Don't be lazy with that book. Clean it up. Feel free in the comments. Let me know any questions you have about your book. Send me an excerpt from your book. All right, you can contact us on 32barcut.com, and you go to the contact page. Contact us. Let us know what questions you have. Send me something from your book, and you're like, hey, is this good, or blah, blah, blah. Maybe I can help you out. I want you to succeed. So thank you for listening to this long video about 32-bar cuts, and know that I'm working on a video currently about Audition Books Explained, that I'm going to go into more detail with video and all the cool stuff, and like try to show you books, examples. That just takes a long time to make, and these videos are free. So I'm trying to do it in my spare time while producing and doing other things. So that is coming, but I wanted to get this video out to you just to give you a head start on constructing these 32-bar cuts, 16-bar cuts, and full songs for your book. All right, I hope I play for your audition soon. If I do, say hi, Austin. I'm there to help you succeed. Don't be mad if I mess up. Okay, maybe check your book, okay? And we'll see you next time.